Resource guarding is a natural survival instinct, where our dogs become defensive via the use of body language or vocalization. This could be growling, snapping, or even biting. And it's usually to protect valuable items such as toys, food, space, beds, and even people. And no, before you start, your dog is not, and I repeat, is not protecting you. It's most likely reactivity. True resource guarding of a person looks very different to your dog just kicking off every now and again. With resource guarding, your dog feels like they have to protect what they've got in fear of it being lost. And this usually puts our dogs into quite a high stress response, which when it's not addressed is going to spiral out of control. In general terms, signs can start off very subtle, such as a slight stiffening of body, maybe a little bit of a side eye, and often these are missed by owners. In the context of today's video, resource guarding with toys can actually look like playing runaway with a toy, where they get the toy and they very quickly dart away from you so that you can't take it off them, very quickly turning their head away and snapping away from your hand every single time you go and try and grab the toy, or just stiffening over the toy when you come to approach. And this can also be paired with whale eyes and growling. With the context in today's video, our goal isn't to win or show our dogs who's boss. They shouldn't be under the perception that you are some big, scary, horrible person that's going to come in there and be the taker of all resources. What we're actually going to do is show them that they can actually cooperatively involve us in those things, and that we are the source of all things fun. Ideally, we want to be building a partner, not a subordinate. So in today's video, we're going to do that via the use of play. But before we can get into the game itself, we need to address a few things, because there are a few solutions that you're probably trying already that are probably just fueling the problem further, meaning we need to put a stop to them as soon as possible. The classic trading badly, where your dog is going to go and find something, pick it up, to which then we're going to come at them with a bribe in order for them to give up that item, when in reality, what tends to happen is the dog just ends up with both. And often what will happen is if you give your dog a bribe, they very quickly learn that, oh, well, if I just continue to keep stealing things and continue being a twat, you're going to give me something of value. And in hindsight, you're just rewarding resource guarding. Using leave it is also a very common one, and this is something that I see quite frequently. And the problem is, most people are going to use this when the dog already has the object. Here's a little analogy for you. Say you're about to sit down and enjoy a lovely slap-up meal. You put your fork into the food and you're about to present it into your mouth, but then someone stops you right there and says, hey, leave that. You're not allowed to eat that. You're obviously going to be quite confused because you're about to eat your favorite meal and someone's now coming at you with saying you're not allowed to have access to it. With our dogs, you're pretty much telling them off as something we've already rewarded them for. And one of the biggest reasons as to why resource guarding happens is because you just are not providing your dog with clarity and communication. Another one is chasing. If you find yourself repeatedly chasing your dog around your house or in a field or wherever you are with them, all you're teaching them to understand is that thing that they've got is super, super valuable. Meaning the farther you chase them and the more intense you get with it, it's just perceived to them as a game, which if that game has no rules, it's going to go sour very quickly. So that sock that your dog keeps stealing is actually just a really fun game for them. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to quickly say that if you share your life with a pet gun dog, you can download my free Pet Gun Dog Handbook. It'll give you a clear insight into the why behind your dog's behavior, as well as practical ways you can make meaningful progress starting from today. You can grab a copy via the link in the description. Okay, I'll let you get back to the video now. And I'm going to leave this one in here, and it should realistically be quite obvious, but just leaving shit around your house. Pick up after yourself and make sure that you don't leave anything that's going to set your dog up for failure. I'm also going to briefly touch on leaving toys out for free access. This usually will create an independent player, but I am going to leave that for another video on play. So one of my favourite, if not probably the favourite toy, or the favourite tool, should I say, for when it comes to addressing dogs that resource guard with toys, is the long tug toy. Now, the reason I like this so much is because of the length of it, meaning I can mitigate a lot of problems from surfacing just by the use of this toy alone. And it also keeps these, as in your hands, away from the dog, which previously is what's caused most of the conflict with resource guarding. Another great thing that I like about this is, due to its length and how we're going to be interacting with the dog, it shows them that it is a shared item, meaning both of us are going to have access to it at the same time. Now, before I get into the rules of play, I do just want to do a little bit of a disclaimer. If you are having serious resource guarding issues with your dog, where your dog potentially has caused harm to you or other people in your family, I highly recommend that you address that first with a professional before going ahead and trying this exercise. This is for dogs that are starting to show subtle signs of taking toys and running off with them, or just not realistically wanting to engage in you all that much. Not Cujo, who's trying to twat the whole family for the roast chicken. So, my rules when it comes to play. This is our toy, not just his, not just mine, us as a collective. The game should always be interactive. Rule number 2 is that you can start the game and you can also stop the game. Ideally, I should be the gateway to fun and exciting things, which is why I mentioned about when you leave your toys around your house, that's not going to be the case. Because then you're just a gateway to naff all. And then rule number 3, which is probably the most important, the out, as in the dog's ability to release the toy, is all about the fun. That is going to be the most important aspect of this play session. If the dog can learn that when they release the toy, it leads to more fun, it's going to be an absolute game changer. Right, so we are here with Reginald, who, by the way, was a very avid resource guarder. We're not just talking of toys, we're talking food, space, environment, people. Everything pretty much was a massive thing for him, and he just wanted to smash up pretty much everything in sight. That is not the case anymore from not only this, but implementing a good, solid training routine. So we're going to work through a play session with Reginald now from start right the way up to finished. Now, if you have a dog that is an absolute my precious, then what you're going to want to do is put them on a long line so that you can stop them from obviously going off and living their best life with the One Ring. Yes, that was a genuine, real impression, by the way. I know. Come on. Round of applause. Thank you, everyone. Cheers. So what we're going to do, we're going to open up a window with Reggie. We're going to put him into a mindset of wanting to get stuck in. So he's currently in a sit. So what we're going to do, we're going to open up that window. Reggie, ready. So he's then switched on. Toy then becomes a little bit more activated. He's diving at me, he's jumping at me. Now my toy marker is get it, okay? So when I present this toy, his opportunity then comes for him to get it. Now I'm gonna showboat it a little bit because I want the dog to work a little bit hard for it. So what I'm gonna do is when I get the toy and I present it, we're gonna throw it around, get it, and I'm gonna start to move it, really get him working, and then what I'm looking for is for him to bite the end of it, just like that. And then this is what we want. Super, just throwing me around, thrashing me about. This is the play aspect of the game. Now, what you're going to aim to do is, because we've got a long tug, and I can be quite far away from this dog, yeah, good boy. He's shaking it around, he's wafting it around, that's what we're looking for. Now, safely, what we're going to do is we're just going to start to come down that toy. So I'm going to start to close in how much space the dog has on the toy. Now I'm holding it either side, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come in there and we're going to go for our release. Drop. Beautiful. Get it. Straight into it. Now, you don't have to hold on as long as I did just there. You can open it up a little bit sooner and get your toy in there as soon as possible. And I would recommend that you do this with your dog. So with the minute they let go of it, the moment they let go of that toy, you instantly come in there, get it straight away and open up for them to interact with it again. So what we're going to do is I'm going to come down that toy. We're going to go for our cue. Drop. Get it. Oh, super boy. Straight into it as soon as he does as I say. Now, because I've got a little bit more of a solidified relationship with Reggie, I can get a little bit closer on the toy and things like that, which is brilliant. You guys at home, if you need to slow down a little bit, take this in your stride, not a problem whatsoever. So we come down that toy, we freeze it up, drop, calm, yeah? Straight into calm. I present the toy again, get it, straight back into it. Here he goes, lunging, flying around. Woo! Woo! Hear that jaw snapping? Woo! Oh, super boy. Straight into it again. Oh, oh. Now, what you're going to want to do to troubleshoot if the dog is not releasing the toy is you're going to want to freeze up on this as much as you possibly can. So when you come right down that toy, you're going to bring it to your legs like this, drop. Because that toy goes dead and goes quite limp, the dog is going to lose interest in it. You're supposed to be dropped. The dog is going to then lose interest in it because on the Prodigy Motor sequence, our dog is sitting around about like here, meaning the toy's dead, so they're not going to be as drawn to it, so they're going to let go, to which then you can then reopen up the game again and start playing. Sit. Get it. Wah. Oh, good boy. Super. Now, as you start to get more confident and comfortable with your dog, what you can start to do is, because you've built more value in them and them understanding that the game is fun when you are interacting with them, what you can start to do is allow them to win. So when he gives me one big shake, one big rag, and I'm going to pretend like it's that scene in Avengers where Loki gets smashed around by Hulk.
And I will not be bullied by that.
So we're going to go, big shake. I'm going to loosen up a little bit. Tice him in. Come on, work for it, boy. I'm tired. Oh! Release the toy and allow him to have a little bit of a run around. Now, what we want is we want to obviously invite the dog back in, get them back to us. Reg, come. Invite them back in, come back in with that toy, straight back into it again. Interact in that play. What you want to do is don't be too pressuring with your dog in regards to getting it off them straight away. Now, a lot of you are going to fall into this category. Drop. I just want to talk about this as well, by the way. Drop. Finished. Now, a lot of you are going to fall into this category of when you start to let your dog win, the original kind of understanding of when your dog gets something and they bugger off with it, you're going to want to revisit that. So you're probably going to get quite twitchy when they start to run around with it and things like that. This is normal, this is healthy. Obviously you've got them on the long line at this point, so you're going to be moving them around, allow them to showboat a little bit, and you're going to just bring them in, course them in, then get onto that toy and then start to interact with them again. Celebrate the fact that your dog has actually voluntarily brought that toy back to you. So forget about the toy and just celebrate with them, for God's sake. That is how you become the value and not the threat.